Right then, another mini video. Not often we start a video in the middle, but we've sort of been quite a few cancellations and a bit sort of steady in certain areas, so we've ended up basically just pulling our jobs forward. Sometimes when I'm not here to start the video and stuff like that, but we've looked at most of the bits, some of them we haven't, but anyway. So Toby's been on with easy to see things, these underbody braces, which there'll be a link to them, I'd have thought in the description where we got them from anyway. Whether they make much difference, not too sure. They don't look a lot nicer and Scott likes that sort of stuff. So one of the other things you can see, we're putting stiffer springs on, which these are very stiff now. These are 140 newtons, which I think the standard kit come like 60, 55, 60, something like that. So we're going ridiculously stiff, and that's just to stop this problem that we're having with the tyres, which we're rolling over to the outside edge, and the inside looks pretty good. But that's purely because these are gripping that much. They're not sliding, they're just rolling. So we're going really stiff on the springs. We'll see if that ruins the ride quality when we get it on the road test, because it's going to be about another month before we're taking this on track, I believe. So we'll see anyway. So springs, we're doing the front springs as well, which I can't remember what stiff they're probably going to be about 120s, something like that, on the front, 130, 120s, but we'll sort them out in a bit. One thing that we need to sort out is the exhaust. We're going to make up a back box, and then we can make a full custom exhaust, because it's still not noisy enough, this. Good for the motorway, but not good for anything else. So then that leads us into the Powerflex bushes. Now Toby's done these rear arm caster bushes, and I believe he's done the front ones as well. Yeah, he's done the front ones. These are all the black track specific ones. Obviously the insert in these are purple, but the bushes are the black ones. The only other, because we've got the rear adjustable arms on, the only other bushes that we can do are these rear trailing arm front bush, and then this is the jacking pad, which I'll show you that while we're down here, and then so yeah, that just goes up into the sill and you can jack off it. So we'll just put that in the glove box of the car. But then these bushes are the ones to go on this arm here, which is hidden away under all these covers and stuff. So we're going to get them thrown in before we do it, and then that's all the Powerflex done, which we put Powerflex onto all our cars, but we held off doing this because then we've ended up with these ones, the anti-roll bar and the rear arm bushes, which obviously we don't need because these arms come with a different size bush and what have you. So I'm sure at some point the rubbers are going to go in these, and then we'll need to knock them out and measure them up and get Powerflex to either knock us some custom ones up, or we'll have to get something close and then turn them down the lathe, or there might be something off the shelf to do it. But anyway, Powerflex always help us out with the projects, so have a look on our website. We've pretty much covered everything. We stock a lot of stuff as well. But anyway, another shameless plug. So another thing that we've done while we're at the back here, these look pretty standard, but what Toby's done is chop this side off here on these little sort of aerodynamic covers, and then we've opened the back out here, and we've opened a little notch out on the splash guards for the disc, because the rear discs are getting really warm, and they were having some like horrible noise and some strange wear from the rear brake pads. But we did have some yellow stuff that we had in there, but we did realise that Tarox had released some rear brake pads as well for these. Not sure when they released them, but we'd only just found them anyway. So new brake pads, more cooling to the rear brakes, because there's not really any upgrades for these disc-wise and stuff. I'd like a vented disc if I can. So that's sorted. There's always going to be something that I've forgot. We'll put whatever videos we've got in. But then the next job for Toby is going to be getting the Proram air filter installed, and then we've pretty much done most of the mechanical work on this. So we'll see. We'll pick up when he's finished that and have a look at it, then we'll go from there. So Toby's he'd already got the front bushes done on the bottom arms. He's done the rear trailing arm bushes now, so they've got the Powerflex bushes in. Should be a lot better. The main thing that you can see here, he's got the air filter sorted, which is pretty good. So the front springs are on, the stiffer springs, the stiffer rear springs are also on. So we need to get it round to the body shop because they've got a John Cooper Works spoiler to fit. That came and it was the same colour of the car, to orange. The roof's all black, so we've got them to paint that black. So we'll get that fitted and then we'll get it back for the corner weight and alignment, get that absolutely perfect. And we'll see how we go. So, seems like forever since I did all the first bit of this video, so sorry if it doesn't really make much sense. But the spoiler's on. We put it on at first when it were orange and it just looked crap, so got Alan and Dave to sort that out. Deleted the rear wiper because it's pointless with a sticker on anyway. I think the only other thing aesthetically that we want to do, we're going to probably get these powder coated, and we definitely said before we're going to change the tips or get them coated, so we're going to do that. We 3D printed this and then put a bit of vinyl in. I'm not sure it's perfect, but I never liked how it said S on front of this when it were a diesel, which turned into a badge whore again. But yeah, I think this car, it's definitely due another front end paint at some point. We've been at gravel a couple of times, or very close to gravel a few times. But other than that, we're just going to get it used. So as you saw earlier, Toby's corner weighted this, and as usual, with one person in it, we try and get a little bit more to this front because most tracks are clockwise in the UK, and with two people in it, still try and keep a tiny bit extra on this front. But if it goes even, we're not too bothered. And then we've done the alignment, so that's a millimetre, half to a millimetre toe out on the front, and a millimetre of toe out on the rear, which makes it a little bit sort of floaty, high speeds on the road. So basically it stops you speeding, and on the track it makes it turning super aggressive. You just flick it in and it'll just, away you go. Camber wise, I can't remember exactly, but looking at it, with about 3 degrees on the front, I would like a bit more, but we're maxed out. As you can see, We're absolutely destroying the outer edge on these tyres, but I think talking to Scott, these Yokohama AO52s are what we run in the race cars, and from the testing we did in the TTs the other day, they're not far away from a slick tyre. You really, for a road car, and I think for how much fun we're having on these and we're not chasing lap times, I think we can just go to something a little less sticky, but we'll see. I'm going to try something I'm happy with and happy how it feels, because these do feel pretty good. So I think next job, go for a little drive, see how it feels with the stiffer springs, the corner weight, the alignment all done, because I've not driven it for a while. And then the next stop for this, after this road test, is going to be Croft on the bank holiday Monday. So can't wait to get out in it. No need to radio when you've got the sweet sounds of the diesel. Racing brake pads, very noisy. So we're out in the Mini, and it's rain, so it looks a bit dirtier than it is, but it's gleaming. Simon at Spartan Expert Cleaning, he comes and cleans all our cars for us now. Went to school with him, and yeah, he knows what he's doing, so everything's nice and clean. So there'll be a link to him. Not often my stuff's clean, which is good. So we're all going to a show tomorrow, and then on a track day on Monday, so everything's got to be ready today basically. No idea how this turbo went dead. So initial impressions on the springs, very happy. I'm trying to hit all the bumps. I am bouncing a little bit, but yeah, it's really happy with how that feels. It's strange because even with the softer springs, it felt like the bigger bumps were harder. I've not changed the damper settings yet either. Best turn traction control off, because it will, I'll turn it off in a minute, it will stop us having a bit of fun. What is rattling in back? Can't believe how pointy this car is. It was good standard, which is always helpful. This is one of my favourite cars. Definitely out of the box anyway, just get it, slap some decent tyres that'll work in wet and dry and just go on track days. Can't get many cars that are as good as this. I've drove a lot of cars. It feels so stable. Yeah, absolute mint. We'll leave the driving like an hooligan to the track. Traction control off. It's annoying. Perfect balance. Can I ask for more? I don't think, really. I've hit some big bumps and it's not crashing, which I think that's half of the problem when people have got coilovers and they're really low. It's definitely not bottoming out. Too stiff for a daily. Definitely not too stiff for a track car. Really happy. Hopefully some people watching this have had a go out in it on Monday and can comment what they think.